I'd like to just recap, if I might. The schedule that you discussed with us indicated that for the months of July, August, and September, during those 3 months, there would be 29 shows, and then there was a break for the months of October, November, and December. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And then the concerts would resume in January, February, and March for 23 additional shows, correct?
Yes.
So the total number of tours, based on this map, is 52, and they were divided up with a 3-month break between each half. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Gongaware, I'd like to return briefly.
Excuse me, Miss. My recollection is it was a total of 50 shows.
Your Honor, may I approach with exhibit number 3?
Hey.
Mr. Gongaware, my math might be inaccurate, and if so, I apologize. Let's just go through the dates of the performances scheduled again. The total number in July?
8. No,
That-
excuse me, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8.
8 in July? Mm-hmm. That's my math mistake then. I had written down 10. So that would total 50.
Yes, ma'am.
8 in July, 10 in August, 9 in September, 10 in January, 10 in February, and 3 in March.
Okay, yes.
And after the March performances concluded, were there plans to add additional venues and additional performances?
Yes, but just plans.
I understand. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Mr. Gongaware. Returning now to the month of June, you testified yesterday that you were present at a meeting in early June concerning Mr. Jackson's stamina and readiness, correct?
Yes.
Were you also aware of another meeting concerning Mr. Jackson's health on June 20th of 2009?
I was aware of it, but I didn't attend.
Mr. Gongaware, did you ever see Conrad Murray at any of the rehearsals that you attended?
Yes.
Can you give me the location of the rehearsal where you saw Dr. Murray?
I believe it was at the Forum.
And relative to that early June meeting at Carrollwood that you attended and had the discussion about Mr. Jackson's stamina, was your observation of Dr. Murray at the Forum rehearsal before that early June meeting or after?
I believe it was after.
Did you see Conrad Murray at any other rehearsals where Mr. Jackson was performing?
No.
Turning now to Wednesday, June 23rd, 2009, Mr. Gongaware, did you see Mr. Jackson rehearse on that date?
Yes.
What was your overall impression of Mr. Jackson's performance at rehearsal on June 23rd, 2009?
I thought he was strong.
Did Mr. Jackson appear to be excited and full of energy when he was performing?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Did you also see Mr. Jackson perform at his last rehearsal on June 24th, 2009 at Staples?
Yes.
What was your impression or opinion of Mr. Jackson's performance on his last rehearsal date?
He was fully engaged.
Did he seem excited and have energy and perform well?
You know, I didn't spend that much time at that rehearsal. I was busy with other things.
Was it your impression that the rehearsal was a good rehearsal?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gongaware.
Ms. Brazil, thank you. Cross-examination. Mr. Chernoff?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Gongaware. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
We spoke a couple days ago, in fact. Is that right?
That's right.
I want to go into your, for lack of a better term, history with Michael Jackson. You said that you were on the Dangerous Tour. You were a part of the Dangerous Tour.
Yes.
Could you be more specific about what your role was on that tour?
I was the tour manager on that tour.
Okay, and what did the tour manager do?
Logistics, travel, that sort of thing.
All right. Did you have contact with Michael Jackson during that period of time?
Not much.
All right. Did you spoke to him on occasion?
On occasion, yes.
All right. You also said that your next tour with Michael Jackson was the History Tour.
That's
Is that right?
Yes.
What was your role in that tour?
That tour was in two legs. On the first leg, I worked for the worldwide promoter, Marcel Abram. And on the second leg, I was the tour executive.
And the reason for the change in the job on the second tour was second leg was why?
Objection, relevance.
I'll overrule the objection within 352. You may answer it.
So again, the
The
question,
reason
sir?
you changed jobs in the second leg of the tour.
That's the job that they needed me for.
Was it a promotion, or was it just a different job?
Well, there were some problems on the tour, financial problems, and I was brought in to straighten them out.
During that period of time, did you have occasion to interact with Michael Jackson?
Yes,
On many occasions?
yes,
You spoke to him quite a bit?
especially in the second half of it, yes.
Okay. You, when were you asked to handle the production on the This Is It series of shows?
Right from the start,
Right from the start. And you currently are employed by whom?
AEG Live,
Okay. And how long have you been employed by AEG Live?
11, 12 years.
You recall during the Dangerous Tour and the History Tour that Kenny Ortega was also involved?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gongaware, when you were asked to take over the production, did you have any reservations about that?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. 350.
One of
352.
the questions that was asked of you by the prosecution was that on one occasion you saw that Michael Jackson looked a little intoxicated, a little out of it, glassy-eyed.
Objection, the state's testimony.
I think you're going to have to refine the time frame. Sustained.
You said that one time you saw Michael Jackson and he looked a little intoxicated. Is that fair?
That's not the word I used, sir.
What word did you use?
I don't recall the word I used, but what I saw was just a little bit of a slower speech pattern, just a slight slur in his speech.
And you also testified that you found out that at that time that Michael Jackson had just come from Dr. Klein's office.
That's correct.
Now, you were certainly on the lookout for any drug use by Michael Jackson, were you?
Yes, I was.
And in fact, you had reservations about handling the production if you observed drug use.
That's right.
That was one of the concerns that you had.
Yes.
Did you ever address issues with Dr. Klein with anyone at AEG
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. 352 as well.
in the meetings that you had in June, first week of June, and the second meeting that you were not attended at? Was one of the topics to discuss Dr. Arnold Klein?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Let me ask you this specific question. Did you ever tell Dr. Murray anything about Dr. Klein?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
No.
When you did have interaction with Dr. Murray, you observed that he was concerned about Michael Jackson,
Yes.
and he wanted to do what was best for Michael Jackson.
That was my impression, yes.
Was it your impression that Dr. Murray treated Michael Jackson as a friend? They were friends?
I didn't have an opinion on that.
Were you friends with Michael Jackson? Would you consider your relationship a friend relationship?
It was a business relationship, but it was very friendly.
When you wanted to get hold of Michael Jackson, how would you do that?
If he was at rehearsals, I'd just go see him.
All right, and otherwise?
If I needed to talk to him, I would talk to his assistant, Michael Lemire Williams, and he would set it up.
He would set it up by getting hold of Michael or scheduling a time for you to talk to him.
Yes.